Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be diving into The Four Agreements
Ooh.
by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yes.
And, you shared a great YouTube summary with us.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm already, fascinated by this idea of using ancient Toltec wisdom
Right.
for more freedom and happiness in our
Yeah,
modern lives.
it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a blend of ancient wisdom with a really practical, everyday approach. I
Yeah.
think that's what's really appealing about it to people,
Yeah.
is that it's not just this kind of esoteric,
Right.
like, airy-fairy
Right, yeah. Yeah.
philosophy. It's something that you can actually apply to your everyday life.
Okay, I'm curious.
Yeah.
What does that look like
Sure.
in real life?
Yeah.
Because I think we all have that feeling sometimes. Like we're
Yeah.
just going through the motions
Yeah.
based on what we should be doing.
I think that's a really good point, and I think one of the things that Ruiz talks about is this idea of domestication. And he argues that we're all domesticated in a way similar to how we domesticate animals.
Interesting.
So we're trained from a very early age
Yeah.
to follow societal rules and beliefs, often without even realizing it.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So it's not necessarily that these rules are bad or wrong,
Right.
but more that we accept them without even questioning
Yeah.
if they actually work for us.
Exactly. And so, you're born into this world,
Yeah.
and he calls it the dream of the planet.
Okay.
So this is this giant invisible rule book
Uh-huh.
that everyone around you seems to be following.
Right.
It dictates everything from how we dress
Yeah.
to what we believe is success to
Right.
even how we're supposed to feel.
Right. And I think that's where those feelings of being trapped
Yes.
or unfulfilled come in.
Exactly.
Maybe those rules aren't serving you,
Right.
but you've been so conditioned to follow them
Huh?
that you haven't even stopped to consider alternatives.
Right. And that's why he offers these four agreements as a way to break free from this domestication
Okay.
and to start living more consciously and deliberately.
All right. I'm ready to break free. Let's hear these agreements.
Okay.
What's the first one?
The first agreement is be impeccable with your word.
Okay.
And Ruiz really emphasizes the power of words.
Yeah.
He compares them to magic.
Yeah.
And even black magic,
Uh,
because they can create and they can destroy.
okay. I see where the magic analogy comes in.
Yeah.
Because words have this power to shape not only our own reality,
Right.
but the reality of those around us.
Exactly.
But black magic, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, he uses that term to highlight how careless words
Mm.
can be incredibly damaging.
Right.
He even compares gossip to a computer virus
Oh, wow.
that infects minds with negativity.
Okay.
And so, imagine you tell a friend something negative about someone else.
Yeah.
That negativity spreads. It impacts their thoughts. It impacts their actions, and it just kind of creates this ripple effect.
It's like a ripple effect, and we've all seen how quickly rumors and negativity can spread, especially online these days.
Absolutely.
It makes you realize that choosing our words carefully is about so much more than just being polite.
Right.
It's about taking responsibility
Yeah.
for the energy we put out into the world.
I love that. I think that's a really beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that our words have power
Yeah.
and that we have a responsibility to use them wisely.
So how do we apply this impeccability
Yeah.
in situations where we need to be critical?
Right.
Like giving feedback at work or addressing a problem in a relationship.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because sometimes difficult conversations need to happen.
Yeah, and I think being impeccable doesn't mean avoiding those conversations.
Okay.
It's about approaching them with honesty and clarity,
Mm-hmm.
while still choosing words that are respectful and constructive. It's about having those conversations in a way that uplifts and empowers rather than tears down.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about sugarcoating things,
Right.
but about being mindful of the impact our words have even when dealing with tough topics.
Exactly.
This is making me rethink a lot of my conversations. So how do you think this first agreement connects to the second one,
Okay.
which is don't take anything personally?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I love that connection.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're not taking things personally,
Uh-huh.
you're less likely to react defensively with your words.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that can help to prevent a lot of those
Yeah.
unnecessary arguments and hurt feelings.
It's like it breaks the cycle.
It does. And I think, when you can detach your sense of self-worth from others' opinions and
Yeah.
actions, you reclaim a lot of your power and your inner peace.
Okay.
And that makes it easier to respond to situations, even challenging ones,
Yeah.
with more grace and wisdom. Remember that crowded marketplace we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Everyone's walking around
Uh-huh.
with their own set of beliefs and experiences
Yeah.
and their own inner dialogue going on.
Right. That image of the mind is, as a marketplace, is so vivid.
Yes.
So if someone says something hurtful,
Right.
it might not even be about me at all.
Exactly.
It's probably more about whatever's happening in their internal marketplace.
Exactly. Their words and actions stem from their own agreements,
Right.
their own, internal struggles,
Yeah.
and are rarely a direct reflection of you.
Okay.
And that realization can be incredibly freeing.
It really can.
Yeah.
I'm already starting to see how these agreements kind of build on each other.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the third agreement? What new perspective does that bring into the mix?
So the third agreement is don't make assumptions.
Okay.
And this one is all about recognizing how assumptions
Mm-hmm.
lead to misunderstandings, unnecessary drama, and even conflict in our relationships.
Yeah. Oh, assumptions. I've definitely been guilty of that.
Well, yeah.
In my relationships, especially with my partner.
Sure.
It's like I expect them to be a mind reader sometimes.
That's a very relatable example.
Yeah.
We often assume that our loved ones know exactly what we're thinking
Right.
or feeling without us having to communicate it clearly.
Right.
But that's rarely the case.
And then when they don't meet our unspoken expectations, we get upset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. So
Right.
instead of assuming this agreement, encourages us to just ask.
You got it.
Okay.
Ruiz emphasizes the importance of clear, open communication.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of jumping to conclusions,
Right.
this agreement challenges us to ask clarifying questions,
Okay.
express our needs directly,
Yeah.
and to truly listen to the responses we receive.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So instead of getting caught up in my own head,
Right.
trying to guess what someone else is thinking, I can just ask them.
Exactly.
Simple, but powerful.
It is. It's about, replacing that guesswork
Uh-huh.
with open and honest dialogue.
Okay.
It's about creating a space for understanding
Right.
rather than assuming that we already know everything.
It sounds like a great way to prevent a lot of unnecessary conflict and drama in our relationships.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to the fourth and final agreement.
Okay.
What does it tell us?
The fourth agreement is always do your best.
Okay.
And this one might seem straightforward on the surface,
Uh-huh.
but it's actually quite profound
Okay.
because it ties all the other agreements together.
All right. I'm intrigued. How does doing your best connect
Yeah.
to the other agreements?
I think it's the fuel that drives all the others.
Okay.
It's about taking action,
Mm-hmm.
being committed to living by these principles in our everyday lives,
Okay.
even when it's challenging.
So not just talking the talk,
Right.
walking the walk.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Ruiz makes a really crucial point here.
Yeah.
Best doesn't mean perfection.
Okay.
It means putting forth genuine effort,
Uh-huh.
even when it's hard, even when our circumstances
Yeah.
are less than ideal.
I love that because let's be real.
Yeah.
Some days our best might look different than others.
Exactly. Some days your best might be conquering a major project,
Right.
and other days your best might be just getting out of bed
Right.
and taking care of your basic needs.
I like that a lot. It kind of takes the pressure off.
It does.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
It's not about beating ourselves up if we don't achieve
Right.
some arbitrary standard of perfection.
Yeah. But I'm curious, what does Ruiz say about motivation?
Yeah.
Is doing your best tied to achieving specific outcomes
That's a great question.
or goals?
And Ruiz actually contrasts working solely for rewards
Okay.
with finding joy in the process itself. And he suggests that when we focus too much on the outcome,
Yeah.
we might miss out on the beauty and the lessons hidden within the journey.
So it's more about the effort and the intention behind our actions than achieving some predetermined result.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Imagine you're learning to play a musical instrument.
Yeah.
If you're only focused on becoming a virtuoso,
Uh-huh.
you might miss out on the joy of experimenting
Right.
with different sounds, the satisfaction of mastering a new technique,
Right.
the simple pleasure of making music.
I see what you mean. It's like the difference between
Right.
going for a run just to burn calories versus running because you love how it makes you feel,
Right.
the sense of freedom and accomplishment.
Exactly. And it's a subtle but powerful
Yeah.
shift in perspective.
I'm already feeling inspired to approach my goals and even my daily tasks
Yeah,
with a renewed sense of purpose.
I love it.
These 4 agreements are so much more than just a list of rules. It's like they offer a whole new
Yeah.
way of navigating life.
Yes.
But I have to ask, Ruiz doesn't stop there, does he? There's more to this Toltec path to freedom.
You're right.
Right,
There
yeah.
is, he takes us even deeper
Right. Yeah.
into the process of breaking free
Uh-huh.
from those ingrained beliefs
Yeah. Yeah.
that might be holding us back.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more.
All right.
Okay, so we've laid out these 4 agreements. You know,
Yeah.
be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best.
Right.
But how do we actually put those into practice?
Right.
It sounds like there's like a deeper level
Yes.
to all of this.
Yeah. And Ruiz introduces this idea of the Toltec path to freedom.
Okay.
And it's all about becoming aware of those like limiting beliefs
Mm-hmm.
and agreements that we've unknowingly accepted
Right.
that are keeping us from experiencing true freedom and happiness.
So it's about recognizing those invisible chains we've been carrying around.
Exactly.
Ones that are holding us back from reaching our full potential.
Yes. And he uses this really powerful metaphor
Gotcha.
to illustrate this process. He talks about the warrior
Okay.
battling the parasite.
Okay. A warrior battling parasites.
Yeah.
What is this? I'm picturing like some epic battle scene.
And you know, right?
Break this down for me.
Yeah.
Who is this warrior and what are these parasites?
So think of the warrior as that part of you that wants to live authentically, to embrace your true self,
Okay.
and to pursue your dreams.
Okay.
The parasites represent all those negative thoughts and limiting beliefs
Yeah.
and self-sabotaging behaviors that are holding you back.
Right.
They're the voices in your head that say, you're not good enough, or you'll never succeed,
Oh, yeah.
or what's the point of even trying?
That's so true. Those negative voices can be so loud sometimes.
They are. They can be
Yeah.
incredibly loud.
And they can really make you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But if we're the warrior in this scenario,
Right.
how do we actually fight back?
So the first step is awareness.
Okay.
You know, just noticing when those negative thoughts pop up,
Uh-huh.
when those limiting beliefs are holding you back from taking action.
Yeah.
Once you're aware of them, you can start to challenge them,
Okay.
question their validity.
Okay, so question, like,
Okay.
are these thoughts even based on facts?
Exactly.
Or are they just fears?
Yeah. Are these beliefs serving you or are they holding you back?
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's hard to even see them
Yeah.
at first because we're so used to them.
Right. It's like they're in our blind spot.
Exactly. It's like shining a light on those
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
corners of our minds where those parasites are kind of thriving in the shadows.
But awareness is only the first step, right?
Right.
What comes next?
So once you've identified those parasites,
Mm-hmm.
you can start to replace those limiting beliefs with more empowering ones.
Okay.
So for example, if you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough,
Uh,
you can challenge that thought with, I am worthy
okay.
and capable of achieving my goals.
So it's like retraining our minds
Yes,
to focus on the positive,
Yeah.
on what we can achieve rather than
Yes.
what we think we can't.
Love it. And Ruiz talks about this process
Yeah.
of transformation, of battling those inner parasites
Uh-huh.
as a death of sorts.
Yeah, okay.
He even refers to it as the commencement of death.
Commencement of death.
I know.
That sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
Are we talking about an actual physical death?
Yeah,
here?
no,
Like,
not at all.
Okay.
It's a metaphorical death.
Okay.
A death of the old self.
Okay.
The self that was defined by those limiting beliefs.
Right.
And those fear-based agreements.
So letting go of who we thought we were.
Exactly.
Yep.
And embracing the possibility of becoming
Yeah.
someone even greater.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's like shedding an old skin, you know?
Yeah.
Like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. But if we're going through the symbolic death,
Right.
what's on the other side? What does that new life look like?
Well, Ruiz describes it as like a personal heaven on earth.
A heaven on earth. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty amazing.
It does.
But, if it's okay to get a little personal here,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, myself included,
Uh-huh.
struggle with self-doubt
Yeah.
and negative thoughts. It's
But
like they're always kind of lurking in the background.
right.
How can we really trust that this kind of transformation is even possible?
Well, I think it's a journey,
Yeah.
not a destination.
Okay.
And it takes time and patience
Right.
and consistent effort.
Yeah.
But think about it this way. You've already taken the first step
Uh-huh.
by becoming aware of those limiting beliefs,
Okay.
right? That's huge.
Okay.
And now it's just about continuing to practice
Yeah.
those 4 agreements, to choose awareness over autopilot,
Okay.
and to cultivate self-compassion
Yeah.
along the way.
I love that.
Yeah,
So it's not about achieving like some perfect state of bliss.
exactly.
It's about continuing to evolve and grow to become the best versions of ourselves.
Yes,
But what does that best version actually look like?
right.
What are some tangible signs that we're moving
Yeah.
in the right direction on this Toltec path?
So imagine waking up every day,
Yeah.
feeling lighter, more joyful, more energized.
Okay.
You're no longer constantly second-guessing yourself or worrying about what other people think.
Uh-huh.
You're able to set healthy boundaries
Right.
and make choices that are aligned with your values
Yeah.
and your goals, even if they go against those old societal rules
Yeah.
we talked about.
That sounds incredibly freeing.
Yeah.
But what about our relationships?
Oh, that's a great question.
Do those change as we start to
Absolutely.
like these agreements?
Because you're no longer taking things personally
Mm-hmm.
or making assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to communicate more clearly
Okay.
and with more compassion. And so you're able to build deeper, more authentic connections
Yeah.
with the people around you because you're showing up as your true self
Right.
without those layers of, fear and insecurity.
I love that. It sounds like a ripple effect.
It is.
As we start to shift our inner world, our outer world begins to reflect those changes.
Yes.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
I'm starting to see how these seemingly simple agreements
Uh-huh.
can have such a profound impact
Yeah.
on our lives.
That's the power of them.
Yeah.
And, Ruiz emphasizes that it's an ongoing practice.
Right.
There will be times when you stumble,
Yeah.
when those old patterns resurface,
Of course. Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
The key is to just keep coming back to these agreements,
Uh-huh.
to keep choosing awareness and to celebrate
Yeah.
even the smallest victories along the way.
So it's not about perfection, but about progress,
Yes.
about continuing to show up for ourselves and for the people we love,
Yes.
even when it's challenging.
Beautiful. And I think that's what I love most about the 4 agreements,
Mm-hmm.
is that it's not about striving for some unattainable
Right.
ideal of perfection.
Yeah.
It's about creating a more peaceful
Yeah.
and joyful life,
Yeah.
one conscious choice at a time.
I like that a lot. And it all starts with awareness.
Exactly. And that awareness extends beyond ourselves.
Okay.
Ruiz talks about how as we start to break free from those old agreements,
Yeah.
we create a ripple effect that impacts the world around us.
Wow. So as more and more people embrace these principles,
Uh-huh.
we're collectively shifting that dream of the planet,
Exactly.
moving towards a world where those old limiting rules
Right.
no longer hold as much power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful vision?
Yeah.
A world where people are empowered to live authentically,
Mm-hmm.
to treat each other with kindness and respect, to create a more loving and harmonious society.
Yeah.
And it all starts with each of us taking responsibility for our own thoughts, words, and actions.
Wow, that's inspiring.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that personal growth isn't just about improving our own lives, but about contributing to something
Yes.
much larger than ourselves.
I love that. And that's the true power of the 4 agreements.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness
Yeah.
and understanding that our individual choices
Yeah.
have a ripple effect.
Yeah. This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
Good.
And I think we've just scratched the surface
Oh, yeah.
of what the 4 agreements have to offer.
Definitely.
It feels like we've covered so much ground already.
Yeah.
But I bet there are listeners out there who are thinking,
Yeah.
okay, this all sounds great in theory,
Right.
but how do I actually start living by these agreements?
Mhm.
Where's the practical application?
Yeah. That's such an important question
Yeah.
because It's easy to get caught up in the concepts
Uh-huh.
without actually, taking action. So here's a challenge for you, Adam, for everyone listening.
Okay.
Think of one specific area in your life
Uh-huh.
where you feel stuck,
Oh, okay.
where those old patterns keep playing out,
Right.
where, maybe it's causing you stress or unhappiness.
Right. Is it a relationship that feels strained?
Yeah. Could be a relationship.
Is it a work situation where
Yeah.
you're not thriving?
Yeah.
Maybe it's your own inner critic and
Yes.
holding you back from going after what you really want.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Choose one of those.
Yeah.
Choose just one of the 4 agreements
Okay.
and consciously apply it to that situation
Okay.
for a week.
Okay.
Just see what happens.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like a mini experiment.
It is a mini experiment. You're not trying to overhaul your entire life all at once.
Right.
You're just picking one small area.
Right. And one agreement
One agreement to focus on.
to focus on.
Yeah.
What if you realize that the agreements themselves
Oh, that's interesting.
are causing you conflict?
Yeah. And there's actually a great example of that in the book.
Okay.
Ruiz talks about how, at first glance,
Mm-hmm.
being impeccable with your word
Right.
might seem to clash with the idea of giving honest feedback
Right.
or addressing harmful behavior.
Right, because sometimes you have to say what's
Right.
on your mind,
Right.
but it's not about suppressing your truth
Right.
or avoiding difficult conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about approaching those situations with awareness
Right.
and choosing your words carefully,
Yeah.
even when you're dealing with tough topics.
Yeah, and finding that balance between honesty and compassion.
Yes, beautifully said.
It's almost like each agreement is a tool,
Yes.
and we have to figure out the best way to use that tool
Yeah.
in different situations.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like we're given this toolbox
Yeah.
and we get to choose which tool is going to be the most effective
Right.
in each situation.
So there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. It's about finding what works for you,
Yeah.
experimenting, being open to learning and growing along the way.
Yeah, I think that's what I appreciate most about the 4 agreements.
Yeah.
It's not about striving for some unattainable ideal of
Right.
perfection,
Exactly.
but about creating a more peaceful and joyful life.
Yes.
One conscious choice at a time.
I love that.
And it all starts with awareness.
It all starts with awareness.
And that awareness extends beyond ourselves.
Yes. Ruiz talks about how as we break free from those old agreements,
Yeah.
we create a ripple effect
Okay.
that impacts the world around us.
So as more and more people embrace these principles, we're collectively shifting that dream of the planet.
Exactly.
Moving towards a world where those old limiting rules
Yes.
no longer hold as much power.
Exactly. And what a beautiful vision is that?
It is.
A world where people are empowered
Yeah.
to live authentically, to treat each other with kindness and respect, and to create a more loving and harmonious society.
This has been such a thought-provoking conversation.
Good.
We've covered so much ground from unpacking those 4 powerful agreements
Yeah.
to exploring that Toltec path to freedom.
Yes.
But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from you, our listeners.
Yes. What resonated with you the most?
Yeah. What are you taking away from this
Yeah.
conversation?
How are you going to apply these agreements in your own life?
Share your insights.
Yeah.
Your aha moments, your challenges, and your
Mhm.
triumphs. Because as Ruiz says,
Yes.
this journey is about reclaiming our personal power
Mhm.
and creating a world
Yes.
filled with more love, joy, and freedom.
I love that.
Who wouldn't want that?
Well, thank you for joining us
Yeah.
on this deep dive into the 4 agreements.
Keep diving deep.
We'll see you next time.